Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Where are we going?
We going to the Philippines.
We're going to the cave.
We're going to cave.
And
We're gonna go on the cave Batman.
Cave Batman. Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Ready?
She's got the whole wide world and a juicy fruit. Baby, it's your world. What you tryna do? Baby, it's your world. Just me and you. Just me and you. Yeah. The world is yours. It's your world, but you playing games in it. Hey, you got me thinking that I'm in a trance. This love's so good, it feels too good to be true.
Hi, Loki. Are you awake? We're going to the Lockport Cave. It's so hot. Look, is it hot? Yeah? Is it hot?
You tired? You want to come back? Where's mommy?
Is that our plane?
No, I'm in
Are you a bird?
Flight of 5. There was a couple recorded traffic jams. The longest recorded traffic jam was 3 weeks long. That noise is the doors just coming together. Now, that 3 weeks was really bad for the boaters, but it was great for this community. It meant that people were actually staying here and spending money. This is how Lockport actually prospered. Lockport also gets its name because you are stuck in port and you are in between locks. It also takes about
It's like a mud.
a lot more productive than the flight of 5. Lockport put a lot of money into opening up this section of locks, but they lost a lot in return because now no one was stuck here for the 3 hours or the 3 weeks or any other traffic jams. They actually lost a lot of money. Right now they're actually filling it. They're filling this lock here.
Loki, are you excited to do the boat? Yeah? Uy, uy. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, buddy. Here, I want to borrow it.
No, you're gonna.
Now this one was put up around 1859, and it was Birdsell Holly's factory. So when he bought the water rights to the bypass, he cleared a cave starting where those two arches were, brought it all the way along and underneath his factory. Water from the canal went through the cave and into a rusty pipe sticking up like that, that is a penstock. It actually would have went down the hill like this and into a turbine. This turbine had a wheel in it. So the water would turn that wheel. It had a central shaft that went back up into the factory, and that actually ran the until no one was buying it. Something did happen though in Chicago that would change everyone's minds. Does anyone know what that is? Yes, the Great Chicago Fire. Once that happened, of course, everyone decided maybe it was a good idea to have some fire hydrants installed in everyone's towns and cities. So the business ended up booming. Now, they were working late one night.
Tingnan nyo. Gusto magpapugos.
Come on, look it.
Yeah,
Come on, look.
Gugos.
Yeah,
Come on, look
so
it.
animals. What over here? And the water will go
Come
over
on, look it.
there.
We're
My
gonna take a
house,
picture.
my bugs, my trees, my house, my building.
What are you doing?
Saying yo-yo. My bugs, my trees.
This one. Now this was called the Richmond Manufacturing Company, and they were making farming equipment at the time. They extended the cave underneath this factory as well,
Like,
and they pumped the water through and down into this penstock here that you see below, which you see that circular thing at the bottom. The water went through that, and then it exited underneath us and back into the canal. That was part of the lease deal. They could not keep the water. They had to put it back in. Now, we're actually going to be entering through a penstock to get into the cave itself. Of course, this penstock will be a lot bigger than that one, I promise you that. Just wanted to give you a little idea of what they were used for. And this factory actually went through a handful of different owners. And the last owners were known to be making ceramics. Does anyone know what you need to make ceramics with? Think hot.
what do they know?
Why?
Because Look is scared. Because Look is going to fly. And Look is going to have a big splash.
Oh, a big splash.
Yeah,
Kuya can throw you in the water?
yeah.
Okay.
Because
Because what?
only helps.
An upside down bridge, as we like to call it. And the trains go right over the top of it. Now, when they first built this, there was a rumor going around that they thought they had built this upside down to stop boats from going through. They were in competition with the canal at the time. It costs about $10 per ton to ship anything by boat, and it costs about $100 per ton to ship anything by train. But the legal clearance for a boat to go underneath the bridge is around 15 feet. And this one clears at about 40 feet. So it is not going to stop any boats from going through. The real reason they built it upside down is actually just because it is cheaper. It is less materials to build like this. This bridge was originally wood though. We have a
Old, what was that mean? Old train station, no?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile.
I want a dot.
Like that.
And definitely, there's a mountain. There's a mountain.
What else?
now we're actually grinding it up until it turned into a pulp, where they would then use it to make bowls, buckets, pitchers, anything like that. Before we move on, would anyone like to guess what happened to this factory at all? Did it burn? Very good guess. You would assume so, but that is my trick question. It actually just went out of business. In the late 1930s, they started to use galvanized steel, and that is a lot more productive than pulp. because Pulp would actually soak up water and get heavy.
My
And
name
of course, galvanized steel does not do that.
And
And
look
so
at
they
that.
just went out of business.
Yeah.
Now, when this
Listen to
factory
Luca.
was running, they were using 2 pen stocks at the time. We're going to be entering through this one here. And of course, you can tell this one's a lot bigger than the small one we saw earlier.
Look at the baby.
This baby.
You can see that this was actually put together piece by piece and riveted in by hand. And this section here is actually a galvanized steel. And so this is the material that put this factory out of business. And now it's the only thing letting us back in. Each side of these walls right here. We'll be looking down, running these doors that actually would have fit in these slots here on both sides of the wall. There is some original 1880 wood at the bottom left over from the doors. Now, they actually would have been running the doors, deciding how much water was going to flow through here. Water flowed into that penstock that we just walked through, and it also would have flown through the other penstock that would have started here. Now, the water would have been around 6 feet high at this point.
Come on, baby.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Feel free to take some more photos before I get up front. That way I'm not in any. We're actually going to stop right here. Feel free to touch this critical rock right here. That's a white color. That's like over from the actual factory that was behind me. That's what it's good on.
But it's just a little wet.
This touch is called a flow stone. So limestone acts as a sponge, but also like a filter, and it leaves behind certain minerals. This particular flow stone is a calcium deposit section right here. I'm gonna take off.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine. So dark.
Can you see good?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see good?
Oh, thank you.
My brave, look, he went inside the cave. My goodness.
They would draw straws, and the guy with the shorter straw had to pick up this drill bit here and hold it up against the wall. The other guy had to pick up this hammer here. Hope he had really good aim as he hit the end of this. Each time, the other guy had to turn. Now, this went on for about an hour and a half until they got about 8 inches into the wall. Now, after this, another group of people would come in, and they were kids ages 8 to 12, and they were called powder monkeys. They would run in here and actually stuff this hole with a black powder, and then set a wick in it and light it. Then after this, they would actually run as really fast as they could, because this explosion caused about a volleyball-sized hole. And the cave was actually cleared out 1 volleyball-sized hole at a time. It took a total of 8 years altogether. They did not, though, clear it all at once. Each time one of the factories was put up along the line, that's when they would extend the cave. I also ask that no one scare anyone, because that is just mean. And if you'd like, when I turn off the lights, you can hold your hand like this right now. You can still see your hand. When I turn off the lights, you have to let me know if you can still see your hand, okay? We have to make sure all our lights are off, though. I'm just going to switch these back ones off first. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Can anyone see their hand?
Oh.
Very dark, right? All right. So, of course, there's no daylight coming in through here, so it is very dark.
Hey, no pointing at the people.
Here it'll dribble way more if it's raining, but it does always drip. So if you remember the big gatehouse we entered into, this is actually the first one that was put up. We are underneath the Richmond Manufacturing Company. That was the second factory put up along the line. And it's the one with the intact penstock that we saw, the smaller one. We're actually at line with the start of that one, because it actually connects around this bend here. So we are underneath the factories that would have stood here. Now the water would have flown through here, and they actually would have ran it the same way. There were some doors around the bend, and they would decide how much water was going to go through the penstock, depending on how much energy that they would need. Now if you look up, you can see an air shaft that was filled in. Now, when the miners were working down here, they were actually complaining of really bad air quality. It was very dusty, and they were coughing a lot. They thought if they opened up an air shaft, it would help filter out the dirty air. But when they opened it up, the fresh water actually came in and actually just pushed down on the dirty air, made it more dense and worse for them. It did not do any filtering activity. So it actually backfired on them. They did end up using this air shaft to drop some machinery down and use it for hydropower as well. Any questions at all? All right, so our next stop is the boat ride. I have a couple rules before the boat. My first rule is please do not rock the boat. My second rule is do not rock the boat. Does anyone know what my third rule is going to be? Perfect. I do have one rule after that. It is keep your hands and feet in the boat for me. The boat is meant to occasionally bump into the sides of the wall. I don't want anyone's fingers being pinched or phones or anything getting knocked on their hands. Sound good? All right. I just remind you that it is going to be slippery, so please walk slowly. And then just don't get on it so I tell you row by row. Yep, you have all filmed this before me. Oh, yes. Just kidding, no, I am going to get on the back. I just got to get this rolling. So I'm suggesting that you do not look back towards me. It's going to be very bright, just a little warning for you. Now, along this boat ride, we are actually going to see some different stalactites. And if I ask you the stalactites that are more active, I'll point those out as we go. We're going to see two other types today. And we also are going to see another air shaft. This one is a lot deeper, so when we go under it, feel free to take a look up towards it. And again, there is no animals that live down here. There's nothing for them to eat, so there are no bats as well, because there aren't any bugs. So you will not see any hanging out in the air shaft that we're going to go under. There are no fish in this water as well. We pump this water in ourselves. It's filtered, so there is no fish that can get through the pipes and get stuck. We do have, now this air shaft was open not for fresh air. It was used for the Tommy Manufacturing Company. They actually put some equipment down through here. They do have a bit like a straw. So as we go underground, feel free to look up at them. You'll see it. There's a couple that have some iron deposits growing with it. A little mix of both calcium and iron going on. Grow to the ground. And they will create a curtain together. So we like to call those our curtain stalactites. And they're right here. And if you look to the right, you're going to see. Alright, to the left is actually where the cave miners had to exit and enter through. This is the original cave miners' entrance. This is where the powder monkeys had to run back to. And you can see some daylights flashing in through there. We like to point out, though, that that electrical box you saw is not original to the cave miners' entrance. Otherwise, their lives would have been so much easier. So to your left and right, you'll actually see some old wooden supports. These are made white oak, just like the rest of the wood we've seen. And these were actually put in when they first...
Yeah. Would you like to see the animal?
Where'd you go? Sir, you had.
Remember how it was going to be?
All right, so this is the end of my tour. I want to say thank you so much. You guys are really fun to bring along and show everything to. If you would like, you can leave a review. My name is Catherine. If you did not like my tour, my name is Kim. The stairs take you right up to the building itself as well as the parking lot. Other than that, you are all set to go, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Welcome. Have a good day. No, I don't know what that's. This is from back here, though. This was a pulley system. You're welcome.
How was it, me? How was it? How was it?
It's okay.
How was it? It's okay. Look how.
I fell in love, but now you acting brand new. You cast that voodoo shit on me. I love you, but you need to set me free.